The enigma of politics, Raila Amolo Odinga, will be laid to rest on Sunday tomorrow. That is when the reality will dawn on many of his supporters that indeed Raila is no more. I was talking to some of Raila's followers and they were telling me, Achando, I have not yet accepted that Raila is gone. I've not yet accepted. And Raila is being mourned for several reasons. I have always said on this channel that there are people who are mourning Raila Amolo Odinga because they subscribe to his political ideologies. For Ida, she's mourning her husband. To Winnie, Rosemary and Raila Jr., they are mourning a beloved father. To Oburu Odinga, he's mourning a brother. And those who are mourning uncles and all that. But there is this clique of politicians who have been misusing Raila for too long. They have always clung to Raila's coat for political survival. And Raila's death is going to annihilate them forever. Most of them come from Lowland. And they are the ones that are now making noise. They have singled out those whom they feel want to take over, those who they feel the spirit has fallen on them and want to take over the looking patient. Now, the veteran politician Fred Gumo is warning those politicians that like a river that has overflown, Raila's death is going to sweep all these politicians. And unless they change tact, they are gone. And I think it is too late for them. Kindly listen to Fred Gumo.
Leo zimesikia Raila ameenda. Wale watu ambao wanaumia, hata wale waheshimiwa ambao wataumia, ambao walikuwa wanakaa kwa koti yake.
Kina nani hao?
Wengi mimi nakwambia. Ukiona watu wengine wanalia, msifikiri watu wanalia tu, anajua shida imeingia. Mnaelewa? Kwa hivyo yeye kwenda ameenda na wengi. Ni kama ile maji ya mtu ambaye imetoka mtoni inabeba takataka yote. Iko shida bwana mbele. Shida kubwa. Kwa hivyo ukiona watu wanalia, shida iko mbele. Kwa hivyo sisi tunaombea tu Mungu amweke Raila mahali pema peponi.
Many of these politicians had told us that Raila is Alpha and Omega. His word is final. His decision is unquestionable. And they said, when Raila says left, it is left.
Your Excellency sisi, baba akisema left ni? Baba akisema right ni? Baba amesema tuko katika serikali ya broad base. Namna hiyo? Si amesema namna hiyo? Sisi tutakaa kwa hii serikali ya broad base ambayo inaongozwa na Mheshimiwa William Samoei.
So ladies and gentlemen, who are some of these politicians, both from the Luo nation and outside, that are going to suffer from Raila's demise? And very quickly, I want us to look at some of them. If you want to know that they're already scared, I want you to listen to this narrative from Opio, and I use the energy minister, who has started driving a narrative because they know very well things might fall apart.
Thirdly and lastly, indeed, is to affirm that Baba has left us as a people in government. Baba Raila Amolo Odinga has left us in government led by President William Ruto. And that is where we are going to stay till the end. Yes. Till the end. And I can dare say, without any fear of contradiction, that we are going to walk step by step with President William Ruto to the end. Now and beyond 2027. That I must say from here.
And so, number one on this list are the three ministers who Raila selected and gave to William Ruto to help in different ministerial positions. We have John Mbadi as the finance minister and Opio and I as the energy minister. There is a reshuffle that is looming after William Ruto shook hands with the former Baringo Senator, Gideon Moi. And so Gideon Moi and his people are going to be accommodated. For this to happen, there must be a cabinet reshuffle. In the absence of Raila Amolo Odinga, Mbadi and Opiyo and I are not very safe because they can be taken for those lucrative positions and given some very, in cabinet dockets, there are some dockets that are known to be very prestigious, something like finance, security, and all that. So in the absence of Raila Amolo Odinga, who is the one who negotiated for that power, no one will speak for them. So William Ruto can do a reshuffle and decides that maybe Mbadi is taken to the youths and sports and all that. So in the absence of Raila, they have held their hearts, waiting with bated breath because no one is going to speak for them. Number two are the governors and most of the members of parliament who are given the direct ticket. Somebody like Wanga, there was a lot of controversy in Homa Bay, and I'm not qualified to talk about what is going to happen in Homa Bay, but we saw what happened in 2022 when they had to compromise Oyugi Wanga to deputize Wanga. There's a lot of clan politics within Homa Bay. So much that as we speak, I was talking to some residents of Homa Bay County, and they were saying it is shaky because I don't think Oburu Odinga will be able to convince the Homa Bay people to vote for Wanga. That can only happen if in this first term, when Wanga was given an opportunity to represent them at the county level as the county boss, she did something that she'll be able to defend. She'll be able to tell them, nimefanya hii na hii na hii, give me a second chance. Without that, it is gone forever. This is a wake-up call because I'm also looking at somebody like Junet Mohammed. Junet Mohammed has been loved because he's part of that Nyanza and Luo nation, the man who Raila trusted together with Yoho to represent the Somali community. But I'm not very sure. I'm not saying that Junet Mohammed cannot be re-elected, but it is not going to be very easy because most of them are saying Baba akisema left ni left. Number three is Johnson Sakaja. Sakaja depended on Raila Amolo Odinga to help. I remember when he was about to be impeached, they had to wake Baba very early in the morning. And these are the things that I feel affected Baba. People have been misusing Baba. Baba woke up and he was meeting ODM MCAs together with Ruto so that they could help Johnson Sakaja. In the absence of Sakaja, because I remember Tim Wanyonyi had to be convinced or persuaded to go back to Bungoma so that they cleared the way for Sakaja. In the absence of Raila, I don't think there's anyone who will convince Luo MCAs, Luo parliamentarians, or Luo voters to support Sakaja. Again, it will depend on how Sakaja provides services and work for Nairobians so that he can defend his track record and say, for these 5 years that you gave me, this is what I did. But there's been a lot of noise, and Babu Owino is poised to wrestle this from Sakaja. In the absence of Raila Amolo Odinga, I don't know what is going to happen. And you can mention very many leaders who depended on Raila. Hakuna kitu kingine walikuwa wanasema, and they really clung to Raila's quote. The last one is William Samoei Ruto. William persuaded Raila that they work together. He took certain development projects to Nyanza, not as a right, but as a favor. That because they were in this handshake and broad-based government, Raila had to get now what belonged to them. That is the kind of politics that we play. That if you are not supporting the president, then you also miss out on the national cake. And we have a kind of politics where you have to lead a delegation to go and praise the president in State House. Now, useme wewe tosha. Now, in the absence of Raila Amolo Odinga, Raila was a uniting factor that was able to convince the ODM supporters in Mombasa, in Western, in Nyanza. Some of them would have listened to Raila to vote William Samoei Ruto. Some of them would have listened to Raila to give him a second chance. But now that Raila is not there, is Ruto really, really sure that he's going to get the votes from Nyanza? the ODM votes countrywide. It is not very easy. In fact, let me ask you a question. Should the ODM maybe today decide that we don't want to support William Ruto, who will convince them? William Ruto is really worried. And Fred Gumo is really right. The era of Raila, when Raila says left, it is left. When he says right, it is right, is gone. And we continue to mourn Mzee. But for the politicians who used to campaign using his name, it is time to change strategy and tell the people what you want to do to them. For the opponents who used to insult Raila for them to be elected, it is too little too late. Tell your people what you want to do to them. And on this, I agree with Fred Gumo.